You're watching Moments with Jill Walker. Today, I'm talking about murmuring. So what does a kitty box have to do with that? Well, I have a dear little kitty cat named Daphne. If you've been watching Moments with Jill Walker, you figured out I'm an animal lover. I really am. I have 3 dogs, 2 small toy poodles, a standard poodle, and my little cat, that's a Himalayan, Daphne. Himalayans are wonderful in personality. They really are. She's a very, very good kitty cat. But sometimes I come to her litter box and, well, today was one of them. Where once in a while, she kind of goes in and kind of goes out of it. She likes to go right on the edge. Well, not to get so gross about this, but it reminded me how we as humans murmur and how that must be like a litter box of a stitch coming up in the nostrils of Almighty God. God spoke that to my heart, not audibly, but He impressed it upon my spirit that sometimes when we murmur and when we complain, it sure reminds me of how it's kind of messy and smelly to clean a litter box. And every so many days, I clean it like 2 or 3 times every single day, scooping it out. But every so many days, I get the entire packaging, you could say, lining of the litter box. And I tie it, and I put it in this great big bag, and I take it out for the garbage man to use, because I sure don't want the smell. It can smell awful. And when you come in my house, I don't want you to even realize I have animals until you see them. I don't want you to know it by smelling it, right? We're like that sometimes. When we murmur, when we complain to God, it's an awful odor, like trying to change a litter box that needs to be changed. Yuck. That's right. Don't you want our spiritual house to be one like a natural house you walk into, and it has such a nice fragrance to it that no one would even suspect you have any animals living right in your house? See, your attitude can have such a nice fragrance to it that no one would even suspect you're going through something that in the natural would cause a lot of people to have a bad, stinking attitude. The next time you want to murmur and complain, remember this devotional about my cat's litter box. It says in Philippians 2:14, do all things without murmurings and disputings. It says in Exodus chapter 16, verse 2, that the people, the children of Israel, murmured against the Lord. You see, when we murmur, we're not really murmuring about our boss or someone else. We're really murmuring when we complain against God, and Satan loves it. That's one big reason I want to catch myself and stop murmuring and complaining, because I don't want to give Satan a foothold in my life. Exodus 16:3 says this about what the children of Israel said. Ye have brought us forth into this wilderness to kill this whole assembly with hunger. Boy, were they ever stinking with an attitude. Exodus 15:24, and the people murmured against Moses, saying, what shall we drink? And finally, Exodus 16:12, God said, I have heard the murmuring of the children of Israel. You see, again in Exodus 16:2, when we murmur, just like the children of Israel did, who by the way could not enter the promised land because of their murmuring and complaining and other reasons as well. But in Exodus 16:2, God says, as I repeat again, you're murmuring against the Lord. That's right. When we murmur, we're really murmuring against God when we complain, because He has given us so much to be thankful for. Exodus 16:12 again, God says, I have heard the murmuring of the children of Israel. If He heard them back there in Exodus, He's still hearing us today as well when we murmur and complain. Could it be our breakthroughs have not come as quick as we would desire because of our murmuring and our complaining? Don't be like this cat with a litter box that you have to change so much every few days because of the smell. No, may we have a spiritual house with a sweet fragrance that comes up to God's throne as sweet and pleasant to him. Let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable unto thee, O Lord, my strength and my redeemer. Psalms 19:14. You've been watching Moments with Jill Walker. God bless you today.